Hi, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am going to be sharing kind of my process behind choosing a color scheme and just painting things out. I'm going to talk through the colors mostly for this video. So I've sketched out what I'm going to be painting, and I'm just going to be using this as a guideline. So I'm not going to sketch it out beforehand. I'm just going to kind of use it as kind of my plan for how I'm going to sketch things out. And I have this scratch piece of paper to just paint some swatches over here so that I know the general direction I'm going to be going. Now my first instinct was to paint this delphinium blue, but I think I want to go toward a warmer color scheme just because zinnias tend to be on the brighter side. So for my delphinium, I want to go for something a little more pink. This is Brilliant Pink by Holbein. It's one of my all-time favorite pinks. I'll leave a link for it down in the description box below, but it's just really soft and pretty. For my zinnias, I think I'm going to go with kind of a softer peachy yellow. Something like this. Oh, I've got a little bristle in there, but that's okay. A little of this color too, like a deeper coral color. And then hellebore, it's so pretty. It's got this like almost green undertone and then just like hints of pink. So kind of a greener, it's even softer than that. And then pops of pink. So I'm going to use this darker pink and maybe even a little bit of this opera rose or quinacridone rose. Yeah, something darker like that. And then obviously greens throughout because we're painting flowers, so obviously the leaves are going to be green. But this is kind of what I'm going for my color scheme. We'll see if that pans out. I'm gonna start with my larkspur or my delphinium over here. And like I said, I'm using this just as a rough guideline. I'm not trying to replicate it 100%. I want my flowers to look a little more loose. And I'm just going to soften this color as I go up. Just to add a little bit of interest. And because some of these buds at the top aren't going to be full pink because they're still buds. So some of them might even look a little more on the green side. Now I'm gonna go on to paint my zinnia. And the nice thing about watercolor is I can just go through and paint this first layer, and even if things are blending together, that's okay because I can go back and add more depth and detail later to kind of help define the shapes if I want to. Okay, now I'm gonna start in with my greens. And I've got this dark green mixed. I'm using Payne's Gray and Perylene Green, and then Sap Green. Sap Green is one of my favorite colors. Oh, and I'm using Undersea Green. So just all of my dark greens, basically. Mixing them all together. You definitely don't have to use all the colors, but I like to. All right, and I'm gonna start where things make the most sense. I think I want my green to be even darker than this. So I'm adding more Payne's Gray, and I'm actually gonna add in a little bit of alizarin crimson and deep scarlet just to muddy that green a little bit. I don't want it to be so green. we go. That's more the color I was wanting. And in my sketch I have this kind of bud coming off over here, but I just didn't have enough room, so I'm eliminating it. Now, same color, instead of rinsing my brush, I've just dipped it in water. And then I'm just mixing what I had on my brush. And now I've got just a lighter version of that. Now this is permanent green that I'm adding in. I'm still going to mute that down. I'm going to use a little bit of shell pink. Just going to make it look a little more gray. Shell pink kind of has this opaque look to it. I'm adding in that sap green again. And I'm just going to lighten it up quite a bit with some water. Now you want to make sure that you kind of scrape out that excess water before you bring it over to your paper. That color is going to stay put, but then you won't have a puddle that you're working with, which is kind of nice. I kind of love this muted green. It just kind of helps support that hellebore color, and it's a nice transition between my flowers and the greenery. And I made it so light because I want it to be a support. I don't want it to take away from what I've already got going on. I don't think I mentioned it before, but I'm using a size 4 round brush just to add in a few details here and there. All right, there you go. I hope you enjoyed this process video, and I'd love to see what you are creating. Please tag me in your artwork at Snowberry Design Co. on Instagram. Thanks again for watching. Bye!